My name's Gabriella Mooney and we're at Mass Collective. So we're an inclusive community workshop. We are in the makerspace realm. We didn't want it to just be a wood shop. We wanted it to have different disciplines that could coexist and that could commingle. You get metal workers and woodworkers and stained glass artists who do something together. That's a really beautiful moment because all these really cool things come together in a way they never would before. We've worked really hard to not only be able to support other small businesses, so give them the resources to build their business here without the cost of a lease and equipment and all these things. And I think that's a huge thing, is that we've been able to provide them with their own option for a job. And we really started focusing in 2016 on being an inclusive space. And that comes a lot into play with the accessible, affordable part of it, but it also comes to play with the idea that I've heard stories from individuals who've been here that they got a job in a wood shop, but because they identified as trans, they weren't allowed to do anything but sweep the floors. And that's just absolutely insane to me. It's hard to be a working fabricator, artist, maker. It's a hard path, it's a small business path. And to have the support of a community around you, I feel is a really big resource. An obstacle for me was I was doing everything, and so not a lot of things were moving forward because I had too much on my plate. So one of the big pieces of advice that I would give is to find individuals who can support you on this mission, on this journey, on this idea that you can trust, that you can go to for perspective, because perspective is huge. One night we were working really, really hard in the shop, and we were cleaning, getting ready for an event. And I stopped what I was doing and I was like, oh, there's so much dust on the floor. Delia just said, stop looking at the dust on the floor and look up at what you've done. And it's something that, it's something that every time things get hard, I think about don't look at the dust on the floor. Look up from the dust on the floor. And it's easy to forget how much work and how much hard work you've put in to get there. But really, just focus on what you've done and not on what needs to be done all the time. It feels like suddenly something has happened that really recognizes the hard work that everyone puts into this and the dedication and the culture here that makes it possible for something like this to exist. I like to downplay the hard work that I put in because it is a community effort, but I've worked really hard for 7 years to get here, and some of those times were really lonely, and it felt really overwhelming, but also really amazing to recognize what I've done, what this community does, and what our mission is to everyone.